Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Rama Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. भगवान श्री योगी रामसूरतकुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी रामसूरतकुमारार्पणमस्तु। பகவானுடைய சரி இங்கிலீஷ் We had a wonderful Divyanama Sankirtanam. Bhagwan had said, when you chant the name of Lord Shiva, Shiva is instantly with you. When you chant the name of Rama, Rama is instantly with you. When you chant the name of Yogi Ramsuratkumar, my father is instantly with you. What a promise. How could he promise with being the truth? So this 1 hour, Bhagwan has been with us, singing with us, dancing, laughing, moving about. A wonderful way of being with God, just by singing His name. We can have Him around all the time. Today, we shall see 1 or 2 glimpses of Bhagwan's life, Bhagwan's teachings through Shri Appan Iyengar. All the devotees of Bhagwan Yogi Ramsuratkumar know about him. People who have been coming for a number of years, right from the 70s. They must have heard, they must have seen Shri Appan Iyengar. He has some wonderful teachings of Bhagwan to give us. Many of us did not even know that Bhagwan was talking like this, gave some teachings like this. Let us see. Shri Appan Iyengar was a ticket collector in the railways. As early as 1968, Bhagwan used to go to Tiruvannamalai Tapovanam. It was Shri Gnanandha Swami who was the deity of the place, the ashram. Shri Gnanandha and Yogi Ramsuratkumar had a wonderful camaraderie, a divine kinship. And they were closely knit. And Bhagwan would go there sometimes and spend quite a lot of time. It was in 1968, Shri Appan Iyengar came across Bhagwan in the Tapovanam, and there Bhagwan took him over. In a way, Bhagwan took his hand, walked over to the place where one finds Rama Pattabhishekam painting on the wall. Bhagwan made him sit by his side and then said, "Look, there is no difference at all between a God's name and Guru's name. Keep chanting Sadguru's name. It will be highly beneficial. It will give you everything." So saying, Bhagwan took Shri Appan Iyengar's hand and kept it on his chest. What a blessing it is. And of course, that is when Shri Appan Iyengar began to take the Nama chanting, especially the Guru Nama chanting, seriously. He started with 100 Namas of Gnanandha saranam. And then this 100 soon became 1000, and 1000 became 4 hours a day, and soon it was 6 hours a day, and it went on multiplying like this. By the grace of Yogi Ramsuratkumar, he began to plunge into the depths of this Nama. And then soon, he also arranged his work in such a way that was the time the sleeper coach had been introduced for the first time. He got a transfer. He asked for a transfer to Trichy so that he could stay in one cabin all the time. And that was very conducive to his Nama chanting. So always he would go from Trichy to Bangalore, Trichy to Rameshwaram, Trichy to Chennai. And in those trains, people would find him sitting in one compartment till the end. It was very comfortable for him to chant the name. The whole night, sitting in the cabin, he would be chanting the Guru Mantra as per the wish of Yogi Ramsuratkumar. And the next day morning he would not feel the pinch. He felt quite fresh despite the whole night keeping awake and chanting. Now this way it multiplied so much. 12 years of chanting, and finally he completed 80 crores of namas. So he expected something to happen. But what happened was the reverse. Because of his inner transformation, inner sadhana, do not think that things became easier for him in the outer life. No. Sometimes it was worse than others. In fact, on that particular trip from Trichy to Rameshwaram, as soon as he reached Rameshwaram, he generally would go to a hotel or some place of stay, have bath, and immediately rush to the local temple. If there is a sadhu in any place, he would go prostrate before him and then take him for food. This was his routine, along with the intense Namajapa. But this time, he was unable to do any of those things. He was very frustrated, very angry with himself and with God. He went straight to a room, lay down, and went to sleep. And then he had a dream. And in that dream, Parvadavardhini is the deity of the place. She appeared in his dream and said, "Why have you not come to the temple? This is what you have always been doing. What happened? You have 2 Mahatmas looking after you, and still you feel that you have difficulties, you have suffering. How can that be? All right, now you come to the temple." The order came straight from Parvadavardhini. He woke up and he knew immediately it was the command of the Divine Mother and he could not disobey. He just had his bath and rushed to the temple. When he was moving about in the outer corridor of the temple, he came and stood before the shrine of Anjaneya. Suddenly, he felt something like a lightning starting from the Mooladhara, from the base of the spine, rushing straight up there and got stuck at the nape. And then it was unable to go further. He developed an intense headache, unbearable headache, and he felt that his head was going to burst out, explode into pieces. And then somehow he managed, and he came to the shrine of Divine Mother. Surprisingly and unusually, the pujari was there. He was alone, and there was no one else in the shrine. And the pujari said, "Oh, you have come. Just see, Divine Mother has chosen to give you darshan all alone. When she's giving darshan, she doesn't want anyone else here. She's giving you a private darshan." So saying, the pujari laughed and then gave him prasad and said and declared, "Hereafter you will not have to go through any difficulties. Divine Mother will be with you." After he listened to these words of blessings, he remembered suddenly what Swami Gnanandha said way back in 1968, that is the late 60s. Shri Gnanandha Swami said, "Divine Mother will be with you all the time, will look after you." And now he remembered that. You see, by then he had completed 80 crores of namas. It was after 80 crores of intense namajapa, he felt the arousal of the power, the serpent power. Now, Swami Gnanandha had already attained Mahasamadhi. And he had only this Gnanandha Sharanam Nama left with him. And Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar had ordered him to do the japa of the Gurunath. And it was his routine always to go to a temple and to find some sadhu, feed him. But this time in Rameshwaram, why didn't he go to the temple, just as Divine Mother asked? Why did he go? Why was he frustrated? There were two reasons. One was his mother and father were separated from him forcefully by his own sister and younger brother. And when they passed away, they did not even inform him. So he lost the precious opportunity to set fire, to do the funeral rites. It is always the eldest son of the family who would do the final lighting of the fire. He missed out on that because they did not even let him know that they had passed away. That was a terrible blow to him. And there was another reason. He was working in the railways, and they had introduced this quota system. according to the caste. And they had allotted 14% for the backward castes. And in order to fill up that requisition, the requirement, the departments were doing all kinds of things. There was a man who joined and was in the job only for 5 years. Now he was taken over, Appan Iyengar, and given a high post because of the quota. Now that was again another blow to him. After 28 years of experience, he was overlooked and someone else had been pulled up over him. Someone with only 5 years experience, just because the quota was there. So he was thinking, 80 crores of namas. I've been chanting all the time. And this is what is happening in my life. And that is why he went to sleep. And then you know what happened? The Divine Mother appeared in his dream and called him, because the Divine Mother was going to give him a much more precious experience, a higher promotion is nothing compared to that. Even serving one's father and mother is a little dharma before this highest dharma, the closer kinship with God. In fact, only for that, God gives us suffering after suffering, test after test, so that all our attachments would be cut off and we would become more and more one-pointed towards God. But then, Shri Appan Iyengar was not to know that. So he suffered, thinking that all those negative things were deliberately put in his path by those two Mahatmas. Parvadavardhini, when she appeared in the dream of Shri Appan Iyengar, she said, 2 Mahatmas are looking after you and you say you are still suffering. What did it mean? The suffering that he thought was no suffering at all, considering the higher promotions, spiritual promotions, the divine had kept for him. We remember the incident when a lady came to Bhagwan and was crying so much because she lost her jewels. And then Bhagwan tried to make her sing the name. And every time she would start and again fall into a spell of tears. And then Bhagwan said, he turned to me and said, you see, Devaki, this beggar wants to give the crown jewel to her. But she is thinking of only those jewels that she lost. And she is unable to receive this crown jewel. Let's remember this. Now this is what happened, but then Divine Mother took over and gave him a wonderful experience. It was a burst of bliss at the same time, because the energy could not go up from the nape to the Sahasrara. He had this terrible pain. When he was unable to bear it, he started to chant, Gnanandha, Gnanandha, Yogi Rama, Yogi Rama, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Gnanandha, please help. And slowly, the pain subsided and he was left with a sense of elation. Now all that he wanted to do was rush to Yogi Ramsuratkumar Bhagwan and report everything. Wasn't he complaining that Yogi Ramsuratkumar, neither Yogi Ramsuratkumar nor Gnanandha Swami was doing anything for him, despite his chanting so much? Now he knew better. So he rushed to Yogi Ramsuratkumar, and Bhagwan came out and took him inside with the tenderness of a mother and made him sit before him. And then Bhagwan started to inquire, how do you spend your time in the workplace and otherwise? Then Appan Iyengar started to describe all that, and then he reported this particular experience. Bhagwan asked him, Appan, you had this experience? Oh, very good. Did you relish it? Appan Iyengar was once again elated. He said, yes, Swami. I had a wonderful experience. It was all bliss. And then he got up. He prostrated before Bhagwan, and Bhagwan held his hand. He even gave him a pat or two on the back. And then he said, Appan, sit down. This beggar will tell you something today. You were, in your last birth, you longed for this experience, but it did not come to you. And that is why it has happened in this birth. You have always been a Vaishnavite in every birth. And in your last birth, Andavan Swami, who is now in Trichy, was your elder brother. You were brothers in your last birth. Now this beggar would like you to go to Andavan Swami, prostrate before him and take his blessings. And this beggar would like to say something more. Very soon, this beggar would become very busy. He has 5 families to look after. What did he mean by that? He meant the 3 ashrams of his 3 gurus, plus the Tapovanam, Gnanandha Swami's, and his own, which was yet to come. So he said, this beggar will become very busy, and he may not be able to sit with you and talk to you for so long. So this beggar tells you, whenever you need help from this beggar, just call out this beggar's name. This beggar would be instantly with you. His father would be with you and will do the needful. So saying, he blessed him nicely and sent him off. At the time, he also narrated one more experience. Now, when he had this experience in the temple, he felt a very sharp pain and he felt his head was going to explode. Now, when he came and sat before Bhagwan, after he prostrated before Bhagwan, after Bhagwan gave a pat or two on his back, he felt the experience repeating itself. Once again, something started from the lower back. It was something like a lightning. It went up straight, and again it went up to the nape. But now there was no difficulty at all. It was no more blocked. It rushed up to the Brahmarandra, the scalp, and then came down, settled in the Agnya Chakra. the space between the two eyebrows. Again he felt a burst of bliss. So Bhagwan, after giving him this experience, after giving him his name to chant, he left him with a warning that he wouldn't be able to spend so much time in future with him. But he shared one more experience with Appan Iyengar at the time, because Bhagwan was talking about the glory of Nama chanting. He said, after this Nama chanting in Kanjangad, Papa gave him poornathva. And after that, he said he was wandering like a madman. He was completely God mad. And he was wandering like a penniless beggar. And once he found himself walking on the road, one of the roads in Bombay. And he was chanting Ram Nam and was walking along. Suddenly a car stopped. And who was in it? J Krishnamurthy. He opened the car door and looked at Yogi Ramsuratkumar and said, "Come on in. I would like you to come with me." Just think of Bhagwan. He was completely absorbed in Ram Nam and was making his way on the road, and suddenly a car comes and stops by his side, and none other than J Krishnamurthy himself was very, very popular at that time. He was a renowned God man. That called him inside, get into the same car with him. Of course, Bhagwan boarded, and then they went to the place where J Krishnamurthy was going to give a lecture. And Shri J Krishnamurthy would not allow him to sit anywhere except on the stage with him. And then Bhagwan said, J Krishnamurthy started his lecture. There was pin drop silence, as they say, meaning everybody was so absorbed and listened with rapt attention. Even if a needle should have dropped there, people would have heard it. Such was the silence, the deep silence that prevailed during his lecture. And after that, suddenly J Krishnamurthy ji turned to Yogi Ramsuratkumar and said, "Now I would like you to give a talk to these people." Now once again, it was a shock for Bhagwan, but he could not say no. He said he was not used to giving lectures, but he would tell the audience whatever he knew. And then he started to talk about the glory of the Nama. Bhagwan said to Shri Appan Iyengar, when J Krishnamurthy ji gave the talk, it was complete and deep silence. When this beggar started to talk the glory of the name, every 5 minutes, the audience were clapping their hands. And then somehow he finished the talk with a standing ovation from the audience. And J Krishnamurthy was all love and kindness to him. When Bhagwan asked him, "You see, Nama is everything for me. Nama sharpens one's brain, sharpens one's sensitivity to God. Whereas you say that Nama is nothing, Nama and Guru, it makes one dull. Why would you say that? To which Shri J Krishnamurthy said, "Oh, you and I are talking the same thing. Both of us are talking only the glory of God. Whatever I talk is not meant for the general audience. It is meant for the non-believers. When people have already faith in God, my talks are not necessary for them. This is meant for a certain cross-section of people, the intellectuals, who are unable to have faith in God." Once he said that, Shri J Krishnamurthy said that whatever he talked was only for the non-believers. Now Bhagwan was completely satisfied. Bhagwan was one of the greatest admirers of Shri J Krishnamurthy. Often, whenever his devotees came to him, if he found someone more intellectual than emotional, he would recommend J Krishnamurthy's books to them. He always maintained that J Krishnamurthy is one of the greatest saints of India, greatest saints of the world. They had such wonderful oneness with each other, despite the difference in their pathways. So you see, we learned so many hitherto unknown facts from Appan Iyengar, the things that Bhagwan shared with Appan Iyengar, he did not seem to have shared with anyone else. There are other things which Shri Appan Iyengar revealed to me personally when he was coming to the ashram. And of course he revealed to some other people also in his talks. They could not be talked about, but it is true that Bhagwan shared some of the intimate experiences with him, which he never revealed to anyone else. Appan Iyengar said, after this, after Bhagwan left him, somehow he began to chant Yogi Ramsuratkumar mantra, and he felt the presence of Yogi Ramsuratkumar with him all the time. Now this Bhagwan is here in front of us as Shilamurti, but so vibrantly alive, with his hand raised in the gesture of blessing. On the other hand, a lesson for all of us in constant japa mudra, and eyes turned upwards to Brahmarandra, a sign of deep samadhi, and yet the smile on his lips says a different story. It tells us, do not be afraid, I'm here. Do not fear. I'm not even sitting, I'm standing, alert, watchful, ready to give you the blessings. Just call out my name. So let us submit today's prayers at his feet. Bhagwan, we beg you again and again, like I say every day, millions of times, for your immediate divine intervention to to free the entire world, the entire humanity from the deadly grip of this virulent virus and bring back a dharmic normalcy in every aspect of life, everywhere. And Bhagwan, we beg you again to uproot the panic from the hearts of people, to arrest the rapid spread of the disease, to enter all those medicines so that the entire clan of viruses would be killed once for all, and to bless all those people who are distressed, who are suffering for lack of facilities and medication, treatment, proper treatment. Please reach out to them with whatever is needed so that they get well soon and return home safely. And above all, those great people of sacrifice, who are laboring day and night at the very risk of their lives for the sake of other lives. Please give them protection and all-round well-being. And Bhagwan, please give a boost to economy and bless us with constant remembrance of your name. Bless us with the right attitude, the attitude of willing instruments in your hands, and that with gratitude. And above all, we seek that supreme blessing that would purify us completely, so that with a pure heart we would be able to see only your vibrant presence, your secret gaze, your secret smile behind all the events of life. Jaya, Yogi Ramsuratkumar.